Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to today's Esoteric Influences for Saturday, the 4th of July, 2020. Well, here we are. Tonight's the penumbral lunar eclipse. That's going to be just, you're going to see a dark ring, I guess, around it, hopefully, if you can see it. It looks like the cloud. I thought we were going to have clouds, but I looked on the weather app last night, and it looks like they've cleared up for tonight. So I'm hoping. I got some really great shots, though, of the moon, and I need to put them on the Stepping Aside's Facebook page. I have them on my personal one, but not on that one. They changed their interface. Facebook did. I don't like it. It looks somehow less than. It looks like it. I mean, the screen is all white now. I don't know. The page is white. I don't. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'll get used to it, but it's odd. I don't like the lighter color blue Facebook logo F thing. I don't like that. I don't know. And it's not about change. It's about when I look at something and it's the energetic aspect of it. It doesn't feel right. It just feels cloned almost. It's I don't know, and I'm still searching for the right word to use here for it. It just doesn't. I don't know. It's not the same, and I don't. It's like there's pieces missing, I guess, like whitewashed. You know what I mean? It's weird. And I don't know. Maybe I need to do something to my page to get it to have some more color to it or something. But it's like how I had it. It's gone. Nowhere to be found. I don't know. Anyway, Saturday is about slowing down and taking stock. If you work magic, it's good for bindings and things like that. But as life slows down a bit today, practical concerns are in focus today with the four energy as is establishing a secure foundation. Four is about structure and about our material security. Think the four pillars, you know, think of the four posts that say, well, I'm thinking fencing, but you know, whatever the four sides of a house are, whatever you call those corners, that's the kind of structure we're talking about today. And so I think that issues of material security are in play. We were out yesterday, scariest place in the world to be. Everybody and their brother were out. Only some were wearing masks. I had a kid get up within 2 feet of me while I'm putting my card in the card reader at a store I was at, and I told him to get back. Of course, he had some chatter. You know, he had some stupid, idiotic things to say, so my husband just glared at him, and he got embarrassed and turned around, turned his back to us. But, you know, it's almost like the ones that were not wearing masks were daring everyone to say something to them. And we have a mask order in place, so... and I guess that the state police at the coffee shop or little store, whatever, they went into someplace to get coffee there in Corvallis, and they were, you know, saying vulgar things about the governor, I guess. That's what was reported. And then I guess she met with them. They were all in masks, everyone. She doesn't want to see them fired. She's not into that. She doesn't. You know, this is a struggle that she gets it. This is it shouldn't be, but for some people it is. And she would rather try to find common ground with them and get them to understand just exactly what the real problem is here than to, you know, argue about it and say, well, we're not going to do that. Sorry about that. I have a little bit of ant bait right there, and I had some, I don't know how that got into it. I better throw it away now before I forget. It was some peppers I had harvested, and I'm afraid that it might. I don't think it did, but it might have gotten over there. And I don't. If the ants touched it and went on it, I'm just going to throw them out. So anyway, I wanted to do that before I forgot, and then maybe pick them up later and did something with them. I don't know. But in any event, I guess this is just it. You know, you start to see the flagrant behavior. I mean, last night's deal at Mount Rushmore. That's just wrong in so many ways that have really nothing to do with the pandemic. But besides that, we have a pandemic. Are you kidding? How many people are going to get sick from that? You got Herman Cain that's got sick from the rally. You got Junior's girlfriend now test positive. Come on. Today's rune is Fehu. It's a sending rune. Fehu can be utilized to send focused intention. Use it today to focus your energy on healing self and others. The interpretation of Fehu is it's a fire element rune. It's about cattle, abundance, wealth that's movable, though. So in other words, we can take it all with us instead of having to be stuck in one place and having it be a big deal to try to move everything. With cattle, cattle is something you can trade with. It's also something that you can eat, you can milk, you can do whatever, right? So it's a versatile type of a beast to have around, and so the tribes could move and take their stuff with them like that, take their wealth with them. And so that's why it means when we're talking about cattle, it's actually talking about movable wealth. Abundance, again, life force, sending energy for magical workings, growth, and success. We have, again, a full moon tonight. I talked about this, I think, yesterday, about working some eclipse magic if you do that sort of thing. And it's a powerful time. You get an entire month's energy in that one moment. The eclipse is actually at 9:44 my time, Pacific Daylight Time. So I'm probably going to be out there about 9:30 though, just to watch it happen. And then I'm going to be doing whatever I'm going to be doing out there, especially if I can do this without any clouds. That's really fun. But if they're there for you or it's raining, it doesn't matter. It's still happening. The energy's still there. Just work it. Whether you can see it or not. It's just more fun if you can. That's all. The solar eclipse a couple of years ago was just awesome. And, that was really cool to be out there for that. And so I did a little something there. But I'll do something tonight and then again tomorrow, because tomorrow's the crone phase of the moon. But it's beautiful out there if you can see it. And in my view, it's even better than any fireworks display. So there you go. Today, the moon's in Capricorn. An opposition between the moon and Venus suggests that a lack of boundaries between taking care of self and others. Sometimes we can't figure out how to do that right. Sometimes we expect things from people we shouldn't, and sometimes we can expect things from people that we don't, and vice versa. Especially if it's friendship or family or what have you. There's just certain things we ought to be able to expect from other people and also from ourselves vis-a-vis boundaries, but a lot of the time we cross them and we'll do things and say, well, I did this for this person. So, obviously that's, just the way that goes. And so if they don't like it, well, then, oh, well, But the bottom line is that's really not what this is about. So let me get back to my notes here. I think that boundaries are I think we're dealing with boundaries in terms of the protection we need to take going forward. That's probably the biggest one. I went to a tire place locally here yesterday. We had to get a battery for our tractor. Most everyone seems to be, they're doing all kinds of renovation there. We shouldn't have even gone. We end up at this battery section. We were taken to it. The guy who comes out doesn't have a mask on, and we're in a mask order. And so he's inviting us in. We'll come in out of the sun. I says, well, honey, you don't have a mask on. And he just looks at me. And he saunters slowly, with an attitude, goes over across to his toolbox, grabs it, puts it on. So he had it. He just wasn't wearing it around us. And if you're not wearing a mask, I'm going to assume you're infected. This is not what I'm going to assume. So now I'm scared to death. I tweeted to them too. I tweeted to the company, haven't heard a thing. But the bottom line is, he didn't have one on. And then when I had to go pay, he wants me to go into this little, enclosed space. I'm like, oh boy, it was the only thing I could do. So I regret going there. They won't get my tire business, that's for sure. And I need tires. So yeah, I'll need them by winter. I don't need them just yet, but I'll need them by winter. They won't get my business. I'll get something else. I won't ever go to that place again. This is where we're getting. If you aren't going to take care of us, we won't be your customers. So stores, think about this. CEOs, take it to heart. You're going to lose. You're going to lose big. Life isn't going to go back to normal because people are going to be angry, especially if somebody died, or especially if they're still contending with this virus. months after contracting it and supposedly getting better. They're not. They're not getting better. They're getting worse. They're struggling. They're dealing with things. And yet people can't wear a frickin' mask. Yeah. Well, anyway, down to the human design section of today. One last thing. Focus on your responsibilities with the sun, with the moon being in Capricorn. Focus on responsibilities today and allow others to do the same. And, you know, if you're freaked out by what you've been seeing over the last few days when you're out and about, just stay home. Just stay home. Find a way to figure out something else so you don't got to go to the store and get something. Just do without. Just stay home. Anyway, human design stuff, the I Ching stuff. Remain aware and observant today as you carefully evaluate and assess your path forward. Harmony with others is possible through objective assessment of shared circumstances. So if you understand that you're all in this together, you get the emotion out of it, then you can get on a shared path. But it's that emotion that just sends everybody off a cliff and into the abyss. And ego takes over, and it's a mess after that. It's just a mess. The words, the slurred words, because it looked, I guess people were saying he sounded drugged again. There wasn't, I don't know. When are people going to understand what's going on with this guy? We all see it. The doctors are screaming about it, have been for the last 3.5 years. And yet the people who could do something about it aren't. They had a chance earlier this year and didn't. Come on. There's something wrong with him. There always has been, but there's really something wrong with him now. And at some point, if it's what everybody says it is, he isn't going to be able to function. And that could happen before November. Please understand, if what they're saying is true, this is progressive. He is not going to get better. No one does when they have this. No one. All right? I know. I had a parrot with it. No one. I had no contact with him for some very real reasons. I could not have contact with this man. But I knew what was going on with him. And eventually, you know. So, and he passed in 2013. And I can't, and given my relationship with him, I can't really feel much compassion for it. But for the concept of it, I can. So I know what happens. We've had other members of our family this has happened to as well on his side. So I think my grandmother was the same way. So his mother. So I'm telling you, this can happen, and what we're seeing is what we're seeing. Something's wrong, and we need to deal with it before he does something that no one will stop him from doing, before he gives away secrets, before he does something that truly, I mean, more than what he's already done. Why do you think he can't take care of us? He can't take care of himself. Is that what we're seeing? Is that the truth of it? Really? I mean, think about it. What are you seeing when you hear him talk and he makes no sense? You hear all the repetitive phrases because it's all he can grab. Is that what we're seeing? Are the doctors right? I look at this and I'm alarmed, completely alarmed. Bringing people together, like zip tying the chairs together, because it was reported that that was what was going on. The chairs were zip tied together, forcing no physical distancing. Who does that? Why did they do that? Why were very few people in masks? Why did they bring their children to this? What's going on? Do they want to get sick? I have to wonder, what's going on? Or is this a cult-like behavior to where they have no more ability to resist what their master says, just like in any other cult? Why ignore what is so obvious to everybody else? Why ignore science? What's going on? Yeah, we need to answer those questions. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the esoteric influences done for tomorrow. They'll go up tonight or tomorrow morning. And have a wonderful day here. Have a wonderful evening. If you're going to work magic, I really, really, really encourage eclipse magic. I really encourage doing it during that very powerful time. It's a very short time. So you're going to want to invoke it during that minute of it from, right around 9:44. You're going to want to invoke that spell then, or that working then. And that way you get the most bang for your buck. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. Wear a mask. Socially distance. And blessed be.